Hello students, welcome to biology class. Biology, life. The term it indicates, bio it means life, logos it means study. As we biologists, we study the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution and distribution of living organisms in this whole academic year. Biology is one of the easiest subject. Once you prepared well and you undergone all the concepts on your fingertips. First of all, do not panic about the situation. Instead, let's look for a way out of this. You have 1 month of board exams and you will have to make the most of it. Now is not the time to study and learn each and everything. I will suggest that you break down your syllabus to the most important and least important topics. You should know the correct way of study, like you undergo the many sample papers and chapter-wise important questions. Before proceeding our session, I wish to give one tips. First, you should maintain a proper schedule. Get up early and avoid studying till late. You make sure that you relax for an hour or in between. Make pragmatic targets daily and do not try to study everything in a day. Out of 5 to 6 topics, pick up 2 to 3 topic-wise in a day. Start with a light subject in the morning. Once you get in a little flow, take up something little more important and heavy. It advised to solve CBSE sample paper of various years. Why? Because the papers by CBSE are the closest you can get the actual paper. You can also refer the CBSE question bank to know the exact pattern of questions that appear in the examinations. Make sure that you are doing the regular exercise and mediate to improve your concentration power. Let us discuss about the assessment area 2020-21 of the biology question paper. So time duration is 3 hours and the maximum marks is 70 marks. So based on the competencies, it divides into 3 types, that is demonstrate, knowledge and understanding. So these categorize and it comprises of 50% of the questions. Application of knowledge or application of concept based on 30%, analyze, evaluate and create based on 20%. So this will be the framework of your question paper based on these competencies. Let us have a look about mark distribution of class 12 biology subject for the academic session 2020-21. Since a lot of changes have been implemented in the syllabus, so kindly make a note of your mark distribution. So totally we have 5 units. So the titles: reproduction, genetics and evolution, biology and human welfare, biotechnology and its application, ecology and environment. So reproduction consists of 14 marks, genetic and evolution 18, biology and human welfare 14, biotechnology and its application 12 marks, ecology and environment consist of 12 marks. So totally we are going to proceed for our exam 70 marks. So this is how mark distribution for our biology question paper. Sample question paper 2020-21 biology, the code 044 and the time duration is 3 hours and maximum marks is 70. So general instruction to follow, all questions are compulsory. The question paper has 4 sections, that is A, B, C and D. There are 33 questions in the question paper, so kindly make a note, 33 questions. So make sure that you finish all your 33 questions in your examination. Section A has 14 questions of 1 mark each and 2 case-based questions, that is question number 15 and 16. So each questions contain a marks like 4 marks. So totally 2 case-based questions contains 8 marks. Next section B has 9 questions of 2 marks each and section C has 5 questions of 3 marks each and section D has 3 questions of 5 marks each. So there is no overall choices. However, the internal choice have been provided in some questions. A student has to attempt only one of the alternative in such questions. Wherever necessary, neat and properly labeled diagram should be drawn. Now we are going to study the chapter-wise questions. In the chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plant, we are going to discuss in brief. So now we are going to discuss about the section A questions. Among the terms listed below, those that are not technically correct names for a floral whorl are androecium, carpel, corolla, sepal. So the options A 1 and 4, option B 3 and 4, option C 2 and 4, and option D 1 and 2. So what is the solution? See, when you are answering these questions, you should understand the concept and you should read the questions thoroughly. The question is based on not technically correct names. So first you should come up with the options: andrecium, carpel, sepals, and corolla. Andrecium is a technical term, right? Carpel is not a technical term. Corolla is a technical term and sepal is a technical term. So carpel, the technical term will be the gynoecium, and sepal, the technical term will be the calyx. So what is the option? 2 and 4. So the solution is option C 2 and 4. Next question. Embryo sac is to ovule as dash is to an anther. Option A stamen, option B filament, option C pollen grain, and option D andrecium. Read the question again. Embryo sac is to ovule as dash is to an anther. So the answer, option C pollen grain. Pollen grains are present inside the anther like embryo sacs is present inside the ovule. So the option pollen grain, that is option C. Third question, in a typical complete, bisexual and hypogynous flower, the arrangements of floral whorls on the thalamus from the outermost to the innermost is option calyx, corolla, andrecium and gynoecium. Option B, gynoecium, andrecium, corolla and calyx. Option C, andrecium, gynoecium, corolla and calyx. Option D, calyx, corolla, gynoecium and andrecium. So what is the question? The bisexual flower, complete flower and hypogynous flower, where the arrangement is based on the thalamus from the outermost to the innermost. So the option is A, calyx, corolla, andrecium and gynoecium. So this is the arrangement where you can study in the typical flower. Next question. A dicotyledonous plant bear flowers but never produce the fruits and seeds. The most probable cause for the above situation is, so what will be the cause? Plant is dioecious and bears only a staminate flower. Plant is dioecious and bears both pistillate and staminate flower. Plant is dioecious and bears only pistillate flower. Plant is monoecious. So what is the option? Think. So the question, the plant bears a flower but never produces the fruits and seeds. So think. So the correct option is A. The plant is dioecious and it bears only the staminate flower, because the only staminate flower, it needs the pistils, right? So only it can carry out the fruit seed formation and all. So the option A is the right answer. Next question. The outermost and innermost wall layers of microsporangium in anther or respectively. Option A, endothecium and tapetum. Option B, epidermis and the middle layer. Option C, epidermis and endodermis. And option D, epidermis and tapetum. So before proceeding your answer, first you should understand the questions. The outermost and the innermost wall layer. So microsporangium is surrounded by the 4 wall layers. They are the epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. So now you discuss the answer. So option C, that is epidermis and endodermis. Is this correct? No. The option D, epidermis and tapetum, because the epidermis is the outermost layer, whereas the innermost layer is tapetum. Now we are going to discuss about some one words. Pollen grains of water pollinated species have a special characteristic for protection from water. What is that? So how the pollen grains of the water, that is the hydrophily, how the pollen grains get protection. So what will be the characteristic features of the particular hydrophytes? Answer? Think. Yes, so the presence of mucilaginous covering. Next question. In same species of Asteraceae and grasses, seeds are formed without fusion of gametes. Mention the scientific term for such form of reproduction. So what is the scientific term where without the fusion of gametes? Answer, apomixis. A-P-O-M-I-X-I-S, apomixis. Next question, what is funiculus? So the stalk of the ovule is called funiculus. The ovule which bears a stalk called funiculus. What do you understand by double fertilization? Fertilization, in other term, it is called as fusion. So the fusion in the female gametophyte happens at two sites. One is the egg cell and the generative cell, and other one is vegetative cell and the polar nuclei. So this is also referred to as double fertilization. It's one of the important one mark. Next question, what is sporopollenin? So the exine of the pollen grain is composed of highly resistant organic chemical called sporopollenin. So it acts as a barrier where it can give the highly resistant organic chemicals to the exine, that is the outer layer of the pollen grain. Name the type of cross-pollination in Vallisneria and Bougainvillea. Answer, Vallisneria, it shows the cross-pollination hydrophily where the agent is water. And Bougainvillea, it shows the cross-pollination type is entomophily where the agent is insect. Next question, why apple is called false fruit? Which part of the plant forms the fruit? Answer, apple is also called a false fruit because it develops from ovary along with accessory floral parts. Example is thalamus. Name the part of plants producing seed and fruit after fertilization. Answer, after fertilization, ovule develops into seed and ovary develops into fruit. Now we are going to detailedly elaborate about the case study questions. So the first question, read the following and answer any 4 questions. All flowering plants show sexual reproduction. In the flowering plants, male, the reproductive part is androecium, while the female reproductive part is gynoecium. The male reproduction part consists of filament and anther. The proximal end of the filament is attached to the thalamus. A typical end of the filament is attached to the thalamus. A typical angiosperm anther is bilobed. The anther is 4-sided structure consisting of 4 microsporangia appear near circular in outline. It is surrounded by 4 layers called of the sporogenesis, anther mature and dehydrated. The microspores dissociate from each other and develop in the pollen grain. Pollen grain represent the male gametophyte. Pollen grain made up of 2 layers. So this is the passage which is given under the case study question. First question, each lobe in typical angiosperm anthers have options 2 theca, 3 theca, 4 theca, 1 theca. So first, understand the passage. The first question is each lobe in typical angiosperm anther. So the answer is 2 theca. Next question based on the passage, the innermost layer of microsporangium. Options here they given epidermis, tapetum, endothecium, middle layer. So what is the innermost layer of microsporangium? Yes, tapetum. Next question, the center of microsporangium is occupied by epidermis, tapetum, sporogenous, cytoplasm. So the center of microsporangium. So the answer is sporogenous. Last question in the case study, the process of formation of microspores from pollen mother cell through meiosis is called microsporangia, microsporogenesis, megasporangia, megasporogenesis. The process of formation of microspore from the pollen mother cell, the process is called microsporogenesis. Pause the video and kindly check the answer for the case study question. Hence option A, 2 theca, B question tapetum, C question sporogenous tissue, and D microsporogenesis. Now we are going to proceed assessment reasoning question. So what is assessment and what is reasoning? Assessment means a statement and reasonings mean the explanation about the particular statement. Give question is called a stem and options are called alternative. So the stem of the questions become 2 statements, that is assertion and reason. Let's do one sample question for assertion and reason type of question. Assertion. As the anther mature, and dehydrate the microspore, deassociate from each other and develops into pollen grain. Reason: as the anther develop, the cells of the sporogenous tissue undergo meiotic division to form microspore tetrad. Options are A. Both assertion and reasons are true, and the reason is a correct explanation of the assertion. Option B. Both assertion and reasons are true, but the reason is not correct explanation of the assertion. Option C. The assertion is true, but the reason is false. Option D. Both the statement are false. Now what you're going to do is you're going to check the options. Here the assertion and the reasons both are correct. Both the statements are correct. That is, the assertion is also correct and reason is also correct. But there is no connection between the assertion and the reason. So the answer, both assertion and reasons are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion because there is no connective between the reason as well as the assertion. Now section B, 2 marks. Among the animal, insects, particularly bees, are the dominant pollinating agents. List any 4 characteristic features of the insect pollinated flowers. So based on the insect pollinated flowers, so what will be the answer? The flowers are large, colorful petals of flower, presence of fragrance, rich in nectar. So only the bees easily come and attracted by the flowers. Differentiate between Geitonogamy and Xenogamy. So for this question, what you should do? You should put the tableau column where it comprises the heading Geitonogamy and Xenogamy. So first, what is Geitonogamy? Transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the same plant. Whereas Xenogamy, the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the different plant is called Xenogamy. Second point, does not provide opportunity for gametic recombinant. Here, it provides an opportunity for gametic recombination. Next question is diagrammatic question. In the given figure of dicot embryo, label the part A and B and give their function. So here, the diagrammatic representation which is given for the dicot embryo, and here the following parts, that is A and B, are labeled. So what you should do? So you should do what is A and what is B. You should identify the labeled parts. Option A, it is the plumule to form the shoot system. Option B, so there will be like the storage of food which is done in the cotyledonous. So cotyledon, storage of food. So label A, plumule to form shoot system. Label B, cotyledon, storage of food. Next question. Name the parts A, B, C and D of the Anatropous ovule given above. So this is the picture of Anatropous ovule. So the part A, B, C and D. Identify it. Answer. Option A, micropyle. Option B, outer integument. Option C, nucellus. Option D, embryo sac. Now we are going to discuss about section C, which contains 3 marks questions. First question. Describe the structure of microsporangium with a neatly labeled diagram. The structure of microsporangium is as follows. It is almost circular with 4 wall layers. The outer 3 layers are epidermis, endothelium and middle layers, are protective in function and help in dehiscence of anther to release pollen grain. The inner tapetum, which gives the nourishment for the developing embryo. Sporogenous tissues occupy the central position. So these are about the structure of microsporangium. So this is a diagrammatic view of microsporangium. So microsporangium looks like a butterfly shape, right? Where it contains 4 layers, epidermis, endothelium, middle layer and the tapetum. So inside there will be the sporogenous tissues also present in the anther. Next question. What is apomixis? What is important? The development of reproductive propagules without meiosis and syngamy is called apomixis. So apomixis, in other term, it is called without fertilization. It is also called asexual reproduction. It is the method of reproduction which produces a new individual with the help of the vegetative part of the plant body. Next question. Differentiate between chasmogamous and cleistogamous flowers. Chasmogamous and cleistogamous flower. So before writing this answer, you should put the tabular column for this. Chasmogamous flower or the flowers are conspicuous, the anthers and the stigmas are exposed. Cleistogamous flowers are small and inconspicuous, the anthers and stigmas are never exposed. Both self and cross-pollination can occur in chasmogamous flower, where only the self-pollination is possible in cleistogamous flower. Next question. What will be the fate of the following structure in the angiospermic plant? Ovary wall, ovule, zygote, outer integument, inner integument, and primary endosperm nucleus. So what will be the following structures in the angiospermic plant? So the ovary wall develops into pericarp, ovules develop into seed, zygote into embryo, outer integument into testa, inner integument into tegment, primary endosperm nucleus is endosperm. So this will be the fate of the following structures in the angiospermic plants. Differentiate between microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. So microsporogenesis, it is the formation of haploid microspore or pollen grain from the diploid microspore mother cell. Megasporogenesis, it is the formation of megaspore from the diploid megaspore mother cell. Second point, the pollen grains are arranged in the tetrahedral, that is tetrad, and the megaspores are arranged in the linear tetrad. All the microspores are functional, only one megaspore is functional, others get degenerate. So this is the differentiate between microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. Section D, 5 mark questions. First one, draw the embryo sac of a flowering plant and label. Question number A, central cell, chalazal end, synergids. For this question, first what you should do? You should draw the embryo sac of the flowering plant. Second question, name the cell that develops into embryo sac and explain how the cell leads to the formation of embryo sac. C question, mention the role played by various cells of embryo sac. D, give the role of filiform apparatus. So for the question A, so first what you should draw? The embryo sac of the flowering plant. So first draw the embryo sac of the flowering plants and mark the following parts: central cell, chalazal end and synergids. So please have a look about the answer. Yes? Yes. B question, name the cell that develops into the embryo sac and explain how the cell leads to the formation of embryo sac. Option answer is functional megaspore. Question number C, mention the role played by various cells of embryo sac. So first one is egg, fuses with male gamete to form zygote or future embryo. Synergid, absorption of nutrient, attracts and guides the pollen tube. Central cell, after fusion with second male gamete, forms primary endosperm cell which give rise to the endosperm. Next question, give the role of filiform apparatus. So filiform apparatus, it plays a major role to guide the entry of pollen tube. Explain the structure of anatropous ovule with a neat label diagram. An anatropous ovule consists of a stalk called funicle attached to the placenta. The junction between the funicle and the ovule is called hilum. The ovule may be surrounded by one or more integument with an opening at the tip. The opening is called micropyle. The opposite end of the micropyle is referred to as chalazal end, the basal part of the ovule. Mass of cell known as nucellus is present within the integument that contain normally single-celled embryo sac. So key point of this answer: funicle, hilum, micropyle, chalazal end and nucellus. So make sure that you use all these key points in this structure of anatropous ovule. Now we are going to draw the anatropous ovule with a neat label diagram. So this is the structure of an ovule, where the stalk, which indicates the funicle, and there is an opening called micropyle. Ovule is made up of the outer integument and inner integument. So inside you can see the nucellus and embryo sac, and at the end you can see the bottom, you can see the chalazal pole. So a stalk called funicle, where it attached to the placenta. The junction between the funicle and the ovule is called alum. The ovule may be surrounded by one or more integument called the opening, and that opening tip is called micropyle. The opposite end of the micropyle is referred as chelazal end, where it forms the basal part of the ovule, and the mass of cell is known as nucellus, where it is present within the integument which contains the single embryo sac. Next question, give any 3 advantages of sexual incompatibility. So the advantages of sexual incompatibility: it prevents self-pollination, it has made plant outbreeder and thus maintain vigor and vitality of the race. Variation appeared due to outbreeding provides adaptability to the changes in the environment. Incompatibility is a natural barrier in fusion of gametes. Justify the statement. Yes. The pollen grain of a plant species cannot germinate on stigma of other unrelated species because both the species are incompatible, and process is called pollen pistil incompatibility. In many angiospermic plants, it is seen that pollen grain germinates on stigma of unrelated species, but male gametes produced in pollen tube cannot fertilize egg. This is called gametic incompatibility. Self-incompatibility can be achieved by any of the following ways. The following ways are pollen stigma interaction, pollen tube style interaction, pollen ovule interaction. So first we are going to discuss about the pollen stigma interaction. In this phenomenon, pollen grain fails to germinate on stigma because of incompatibility. Next, pollen tube style interaction. In this phenomena, the pollen grain become able to germinate on stigma and pollen tube penetrates stigmatic surface, but due to incompatibility, growth of pollen tube within stigma and style is inhibited. Pollen to ovule interaction. The pollen tube successfully pierces and grows within style, and its growth is inhibited at micropyle of ovule. So this is incompatibility is the natural barrier in fusion of gametes. Explain the structure of maize grain with the help of a diagram. Second question in that, why cannot we use the term maize seed for maize grain? We are going to discuss the answer. Answer. In grass family, example maize, the fruit is single seeded where pericarp, that is the outer layer, and the seed coat are fused together to form the husk. Just below husk, there is a layer of cells called hyaluron layer, which stores the protein. There is a large endosperm that stores starch. The embryo lies on one side of endosperm and consists of single cotyledon called scutellum and embryonal axis. The region of embryonal axis that points downward from points of attachment of cotyledon is radical, and it is covered by a protective sheet called coelurhiza. The region of embryonal axis that point upward from the point of attachment of cotyledon is plumule. It is covered by foliaceous sheet called coeloptite. So in this answer, the key points are: maize fruit is a single seeded, which is bounded with the pericarp and the seed coat, where it forms the husk, where the husk forms, where it can help to store the protein. The embryo lies on one side of the endosperm and the single cotyledon called scutellum and embryonal axis. And next point is about coelurhiza and coeloptite, where the coelurhiza is nothing but the point downward from the point of attachment of cotyledon is radical, which act as the protective sheet called coelurhiza. And next is coeloptite, the region of embryonal axis, the point upward from the point attachment of cotyledon, where it indicates the plumule. It is covered by the foliage sheet. So that is called coeloptite. So the key points are coelurhiza, coeloptite, scutellum and embryonal axis, and hyaluron layer, and single seeded maize fruit. Why cannot we use the term maize seed for maize grain? We cannot use the term seeds for maize grain because seed is not completely developed from embryo but retains a part of endosperm. This is the structure of maize grain. which has the outer cover layer called pericarp, endosperm, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle and coelorhiza. So what is coleoptile? So coleoptile is nothing but the region of embryonal axis that point upward from the point of attachment of cotyledon as plumule is called coleoptile. And what is coelorhiza? The region of embryonal axis that point downward from the point of attachment of cotyledon is radicle, which is covered by the protective sheet called coelorhiza. Students, in this session, we are able to understand the pattern of examination paper and it increased your knowledge of how to address the question given in the question paper and also focus on all the important topics where we covered in the chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. All the best for your exams.